Do you remember the first time you played together a board game, and which game was it? Manel, it's not only the wife, but the kids as well, aligning into board games.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
The luckiest guy in Vila do Conde. Which of you is more competitive? There are various scenarios here, but I think that probably the best outcome would be I win, so neither of you needs to sleep in the couch. Are we recording
Otherwise,
a couple argument right
we
now?
will have another topic.
Dina and Manuel are a couple with a passion for board games. Together they manage a board game cafe called Jogar. But how did their board game journey begin? What does love look like when it's built around dice, strategy and meeples? And what does it take to make a board game cafe not just fun but sustainable? Let's dive into the world of Dina and Manuel.
Dina and Manuel, nice to meet you both. Okay. For me, this is the first time having a conversation and playing Azul with two people at the same time because you are a couple. Okay? And you own a board game cafe in a city called Vila do Conde. You also have an Instagram account with more than 7,000 followers where you document your adventures. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, for the last 6 years, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. You should have many interesting things to share. Mainly being a couple in board gaming and having this board game cafe, which should be an interesting experience to share. Okay. From both these topics, I think I would like to start from the fact that you are a board game couple, if we could call it that way, if it makes sense. Can you tell us your story? Because I know that you're both from the same city, from Vila do Conde, but curious enough, you've met in London for the first time.
Yeah, it's true. Dina and I had and have a common friend, and he fortunately was living with me in London, and Dina went to visit him, and that's where we met.
Okay.
But I was already there for 2 years by that time, and when she went and visited that friend, we started talking, and then we met in Portugal, and then we met in several places throughout Europe. And we were in a relationship like this for 2 years until Dina moved to the UK.
Sounds very romantic. What a coincidence. Huh?
It was nice 2 years.
Actually, it was about that time that we used Board Game Arena for the first time, and probably the last.
So in the last 6 years, you haven't used Board Game Arena, so you're getting back to it today. So it's your time to play, Dina.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's my internet that is frozen. Or you have the first play, Dina, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can see the other people's boards here. Good.
I have analysis paralysis, so be patient with me.
Yeah,
okay?
don't worry, because I'm also adapting the screen where the game is being recorded for 3 people. I had to zoom out in order for everyone to be on screen. Every time I hear about or I know about a board game couple, the first thing that I think is that, I never had this luck, which I don't know exactly if it's luck or not, but I think that these guys are lucky because they understand each other. If one wants to play, the other will not say, "Oh, board games again. No, I don't like that." You're simply connected. That's the way I see it, right? And I also think about how does this work in practice, right? How would that work? So, for example, how did you get into board games? Was it something that one of you was into and brought the other, or you both were already into board games and you just found your path and connected to that as well?
I can tell you my side, and Dina will tell you her side.
Let's see if they match, right? Because we don't want to create problems. We don't want one of you to sleep in the couch today, right? If you find that we're misaligned.
So I've played games all my life. Usually the ones on the supermarket shelves until 2005 or 2006, where I found a Carcassonne box in a shopping center, and bought it and took it home. When I got home, I realized that there was not a game; it was an expansion.
Okay.
And an expansion for a game? Whoa! I did not know that existed. So I went online and Googled it, and I found that Carcassonne by that time had 8 or 9 expansions already.
Yeah.
And I ordered the game through a Spanish web shop at the time, because there was no Portuguese shop at that time. And once I bought the game, I played it, and then I bought all the other 8 or 9 expansions that the game had, like, pretty quickly. Then eventually I found out about, so Agricola was coming out on Essen at that time. I don't know if it was.
That's 15 years ago or 25 years ago. No, 25 is 15, right? 15 years ago because of the box.
Yeah, and from then, well, I kept on buying until I, in 2010, when I moved to London. That's when I found even more, because I found there something I didn't find here, which was a group of gamers. So we had meetups, and I could play games like every day if I wanted. And that's when it exploded.
Okay. What about you, Dina?
I'm going a bit back a little bit, saying that when we met and we started playing board games, I was always telling him that you are really lucky. You have a girlfriend that plays with you.
You played previously?
No, just the Monopoly and Trivial and that kind of games that we used to play when we were younger.
Okay.
Then when I met Manuel, we started to play. He showed us the board games, and I really like it. I'm an occupational therapist, so I used to use the play and the games to work with the children.
Interesting. Wow,
disabled children. So it was, I really liked it. So it was very easy to enjoy playing board games with Manel.
Okay. So Manuel pulled you in. That's the quick answer for the question. Was Manuel's fault that pulled you in? You had to go along, and then you actually enjoyed. And after all these years, you own a board game cafe. Wow, board game cafe.
It was just a good excuse to keep on buying games.
I was going to get there as well. I know what you mean. Yes. It's either, hey, we have a board game cafe, we need to invest, or it's either, I have a board game YouTube channel, so I also need to invest. It's a typical excuse.
That's also a very good excuse.
Yes. Do you remember the first time you played together a board game, and which game was it? And who won, if possible?
I don't know if it was the first.
I think the first time I went to London, no, the second time I went to London to meet him, not meet my friend when we met. When we start our relationship, I think we played Bonanza, wasn't it?
Bonanza, okay.
Yeah, she didn't like it.
I know the name, but never played. So
I really enjoyed the others.
Yeah, I don't remember what were the others. I remember Bonanza.
The La Boca, and
yeah, I remember Bonanza, and I remember you saying that no, I don't like this game. I still don't understand why, but
I don't like the design.
Okay, I would love to add something on the conversation, but I've never played Bonanza, and I'm not sure what it is, so I cannot add much. I need to take care of that, right?
Not playing Bonanza does not look good on your TV. You need to play it.
Yeah, I need to play. Yeah, all the games that
That's
people
fine. You
mentioned.
can play another game that has the same mechanic.
Okay. Which is the main mechanic from Bonanza?
Is
Negotiation.
Oh, okay. Negotiation. Because Bonanza sounds like a cowboy kind of game, right? Because of the TV series Bonanza.
It's a farming. So you don't know it? Okay.
No,
It's a you farm beans, you plant beans, you farm beans, you harvest beans, you sell beans, you trade beans.
it's like an Agricola kind of game then. No cowboy.
It's the same design.
It's from you, Rosenberg. Okay. So yeah, I need to really take care of improve my knowledge here, not to look bad on camera. So nowadays, if you had to plan a date night, couples night, board game, which game would you choose? Any favorite one?
Let me tell you something. It's my turn. Sorry. Because we have a board game cafe and 2 children.
Okay.
We don't have much time to play. So the games we usually play are the games of the week that we must teach at the coffee shop. And most of the times we can't even finish it. So we play a game a week, and most of the times we can't finish it. So if we had time, probably I would choose one game and Dina would choose another game.
And you play both?
I would
for both to be happy.
I would probably choose something that from before 2018 because I miss playing something.
Okay.
And Dina would probably choose a cooperative game.
Okay.
Which games? But I can name several, but let's say that I would play The Great Zimbabwe.
Which I never played as well. So I cannot add much. Yeah, it's hard being a parent, I know. You tell me. Maybe your kids are maybe small, but maybe you can try to bring them to board games as well, and then you play with them.
Yeah, the one is this one that was here before is 6, and then we have a girl which is 2.5. So the 6-year-old already plays with us.
Well, he just started to play with us the game of the week.
Yes. So last week he played Carolus Magnus with us. The previous week he played Through the Desert with us. So.
Okay. So you're training him too.
Now Manuel is setting up the game, and he already say, "Oh, I want to play too."
Cool. Wow. Manuel, it's not only the wife, but the kids as well, aligning into board games.
Yeah.
The luckiest guy in Vila do Conde. The luckiest guy in Vila do Conde.
Let's see.
Okay. So, Dina, you mentioned, or Manuel mentioned that you choose some kind of cooperative game, and Manuel would choose other things. So, do you feel like being a couple? Do you gravitate towards the same kind of games, or in fact, your tastes for board games are different?
Oh, yes. Our tastes are really different.
Interesting.
But we manage. One time Manuel plays the games that I enjoy, and the other time I will play the games that Manuel enjoy the most.
Okay.
So I think we have here balance. The only games that I don't enjoy is TCGs that Manuel really loves. But sometimes he managed to convince me to play some games, some TCG games. So I play, but I don't enjoy.
I've seen your agenda in the cafe, so you have lots of demos or tournaments for TCG. So it's Manel pushing that. We'll get there.
Yeah.
But also, it needs to be because those games have communities, and the communities are built of people, and we need people at the coffee shop.
Yeah,
so
everything makes sense.
It needs to be.
Everything makes sense.
It needs to be.
But I wanted to go back 2 minutes, and I was listening to you when you said, "Oh, so I need to play some of the games that he likes, and he needs to play some of the games that I like." It's really like how couples work, right? Hey, I need to do some of the things that he likes, but I don't enjoy, but I do it for him, expecting that one day he does it for me as well. So yeah, it's even with board games, you manage it like a couple, like functional couple. Interesting.
Yeah.
But then I and everyone listening, we really want to know which of you is more competitive. And I guess Dina, because she prefers the cooperative game, maybe it's Manel, the most competitive. Am I right or not?
No.
No, you're wrong.
No. So how come Dina wants the cooperatives and she's more competitive? She's alpha player on cooperatives.
I just want to win.
Okay.
It's better than that way. If we play a cooperative game, in that case, together we win the game or not, but together. On the other hand, if I lose with Manuel,
He's cleaning the dishes.
We're playing the three of us here, and if she loses, it's fine. But if she loses only to me, that's a big problem.
There's always the couch to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm really better.
Yes,
Before I used to.
Much better now. It's much better now.
she's much. It's
turn the board.
No,
It's like,
she throw cards to the table.
Wow, she should flip the table before.
Flip because usually the table is heavy, but yeah, she would be upset. She's much better. At the beginning she had to lose quite often, and then she understood how to lose.
But now when I'm losing, I'm still sweating.
Yeah.
You know. But it's a control thing.
Okay. So now that you are a parent, you have that extra responsibility because your behaviors at the game table, the kids will also learn, absorb, and reflect that, right? And one of the things that my family also always said is that you really know people's education while they are eating or while they are playing games, right? So I don't know if you agree or not. It's not the case, but
we agree.
Yeah, you see, because you have the Board Game Café, you play games all the time, etc. You can see really people's education and attitudes and profile while they are playing games. It somehow comes out, and we need to be careful as parents for the role model. Is there any game that you refuse to play against each other because it may be too aggressive between a couple or something?
Well, no. We used to play in 2013. We used to play Hive quite a lot on Board Game Arena while she was in Portugal and I was in London. And I beat Dina quite often at that game until it switched and I can't win. So I don't want to play Hive with Dina.
Yeah, that's a strange thing. There's some games that I always win, and there's some games that Manuel always wins. I don't know. Maybe I don't know the
reason
explaining that, but it's happening. We went to Madrid 2 weeks ago, and Manuel took a game that he took to where?
Terrible Monster. It's
a card game. It's a simple game, but when he showed me, I will take this one, I told him, Manuel, are you sure? You always lose on that game. So are you taking that game again?
Yeah,
for me, it's boring. I will win. Come on.
Yeah.
But he took.
It's the fact she wins always.
I like the game.
Okay.
It's a good one to take on the plane.
It's small.
And another one that I never played, so I don't know what to say about Hive. I've never played. So you seem to have a collection of games that I've never played. Maybe I'll need to try all of them after this call. Okay, and what is the most intense board game moment you've ever had together? Any story? Most intense. Between you two or with more people, but at the board, while playing a board game.
That session of Time Stories with
Time Stories. Time Stories sounds good. That one I know.
No,
I think it was worse when we first played Time Stories. was really creepy because we opened the game and when we read the date was the same date that we were playing on that year.
Wow, that's scary.
Like, I'm not playing this game. It was really creepy.
Even the year or just the day and the month?
You know?
Just the day and the month, right? Because the game is in the future, correct?
Sorry?
It was just the day and the month, correct? Not the year. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, it's on the base game, on the Vila cave.
Yeah.
The story is very creepy as well, and it was wind. I think it was in February. I think.
Yeah.
So it was like rainy outside and dark, and we were playing that on the living room, and then we read that and like a moment of silence. There was.
It's today. We will say, "Oh my God,
Wow.
it's the same day today."
Very creepy.
And it's about a couple.
I don't know.
Nothing happened, and we played the game, and nothing happened.
Okay. So you see this white stain here in my screen here. That's my time storage collection.
Yeah.
There. Yeah. But I haven't played much, so I'm also waiting. Okay, so while Manel thinks about his play, what is the funniest house rule that you've created for any board game? In case that you create house rules.
I don't know if we do that much, to be honest. Only playing with we do change the rules, but I can't even remember what I do.
But we never let them win.
No, we don't let them win. But
well, if they win, they win, of course. But we never.
The only rule that we change on the game.
Where's my yellow tile?
Oops. Oops.
It's taking the.
In fact, there was a yellow tile there, indeed.
Yeah,
there was.
It was mine, you know.
I think the only game that we play not following the original rules is Carcassonne, and we haven't played in ages, to be honest. But we take, instead of having one tile, we have 3 tiles in our hands.
And you choose one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It makes Carcassonne much more interesting.
Maybe you can strategically build more things.
Because nowadays there's and even that I think ended up being, because I played like that almost since the beginning of the game. Then when I discovered it, but I think even that it's like a variant, an approved variant by the designers. So
okay.
I don't think it's called an out rule right now.
Maybe. Okay. I never played that way, but maybe it is. Okay.
And try it. Better. You feel in control. You can keep that. You can keep a tile for later.
You also can keep a tile for later.
Yeah, because you have 3. You choose. You play one. And then you draw one. So you always have 3 in your hand.
You always have 3 in your hand, so you don't put it back on the pile. Yeah. I understand now. Okay.
Yeah.
And looking into the future, is there any board game on your wish list right now that you'd like to share? And when I say wish list, it's like the couple's wish list, right? Or if not, you can tell me separately.
There's those 2 that I'm trying you to find them on Vinted, because they can find them anywhere. There's The Downfall of Pompeii, which is a very old game. And Ispahan, which is a very old game as well.
What's the name of the second one?
Ispahan. It's YSP AHAN. It's from the old Istari collection. Asmodee bought that company. It's that.
I don't know that one. But Pompeii, I don't know if it's visible. Pompeii, yeah.
You have Pompeii?
Yes. I cannot reach.
Do you want to sell it?
No, because I also want to try it. No? Yes. Looks very cool.
Okay,
and
so you try it. Once you understand that you don't like it, you message us and say, look,
don't worry.
Happy to trade this with you.
Okay. So I can go to your private room where you have the games and choose one and we exchange.
Hey, who left me all this stuff? I'm going to get a lot of negative points.
No, you can still put on the... no, you can't. No, you can still fill your last row with at least 3 of them.
Man,
Yeah.
this is a lot of negative points. You're not nice.
You'll go down. Let's see the scores once you confirm your play. And then we can change our conversation to the Board Game Café. Oh, I see it now. Okay, so I refreshed the page and I'm losing 7 points while Dina is winning with 11. Okay. Cool.
The
So
game is just starting.
mhm. I guess the best outcome in this game, there are various scenarios here, but I think that probably the best outcome would be I win. So neither of you needs to sleep in the couch. Right? Right?
I'm taking yellows this time, okay?
Okay.
You will not have that task easy. I'm sorry.
Let's see. So, Board Game Café. What inspired you 6 years ago to open a board game cafe? The big question for today.
We wanted to come home.
And we had already 800.
800 games.
So we thought, maybe we have the difficult part. So let's do it. Our family thought
We
they
were
thought
crazy.
we were crazy.
There was nothing like
And we
that
were.
6 years ago. At least that I know. 6 years ago.
No. Actually, before we decided to come, Dina was loving her job in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
I was hating it at the time. It was a lot of stress. I was going crazy, and I wanted to change career, move, do something that I enjoy.
Yes.
And then I had to convince Dina that we had to do that, or I would not survive. and then we started visiting board game cafes throughout the world to take ideas and see how they function and which style of coffee shop we enjoyed. Also, I really enjoy to put people together and teach them games. So I don't mind not playing. I have the same enjoyment watching the others play. And even on my childhood with my friends, I used to organize tournaments with them. And now, Dina, you talk because I'm playing.
Yeah, it's your turn.
But now, after 6 years, we were really crazy, Manuel.
Yeah.
Looking back, you were
Because
really
we didn't have any experience about restaurants and nothing. So, and we hadn't a lot of money to spend.
Yeah.
So everything was really, we think about it and we planned. We can spend much on this, we can spend much on that. And first we wanted to open in Porto, but the rents were really expensive, like 3,000, 4,000, and
wow.
Yeah, crazy.
It was a risky business. So.
Yeah, we didn't know that how it would work in Portugal.
But we've also felt every time we came home during the previous year in 2017, we saw that the FNAC and the supermarkets, their aisle of board games was getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So we thought maybe now it's the time to come because people are starting to get aware of games. There's conventions happening. There's groups there's more groups of board gamers showing up around the country. We could see the social media activity going up as well, and we said, okay, maybe it's time. Maybe it will work now, 2018. So that's when we made the move.
You jumped. Did you ship from the UK 800 games?
Yes.
No.
And the house.
Oh yes, we did, but was not at once. Every time we had a shelf, like a Billy one at home in London, and that was the limit. The limit in there because our house was really small. So every time that the games were out of the shelf, the Billy, we send it home.
I was lucky because I I was managing online online vet pharmacies, and so we had a lot of deals with couriers. So I could use the couriers to send my games home.
Okay. And you got cheap prices or something, right?
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah. I cannot imagine what 800 games look like in terms of boxes and baggage. Yeah.
I only imagine shelves.
By
Yeah.
shelf. So a billy like this, how many games can you put? Depends on the size of the box, but how many games would you put on a billy?
I think close to 100. We could.
We used to use small games in Billy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
In the
it
Billy.
really depends.
But in London, no. In London,
that
was
everything. Yeah, but I think it was close to 100. We could. Yeah.
The small ones,
The
yes.
small ones, okay.
The big ones.
Wow. So you did it like step in different steps. It was not all at once, right? Every time you had the chance every week.
Yeah, it was almost a box a week.
A box a week. Okay.
Yeah, because I used to buy a lot of games.
Yeah. When I got home, I was the first to get home. So there was already a box on the door.
The next one.
And then the neighbor, really lovely, our neighbor, she already knew that I was at home, and she knocked on the door and said, "Look, you have here another box." And 4 games. And then Manuel came from work and he said, "Oh, I brought another box of games."
Yeah, sometimes games went to work. I don't know how.
Sometimes they come directly from
there were days
the
that
companies.
were 3 boxes of games.
Okay. Maybe you miss those days.
Well, now we get games not every day, but almost every day because we have an online store as well.
Yeah.
And so
we're
always buying games. It's not for us this time.
They keep piling at your door, Dina. They keep piling at your door or appearing at your door.
And it's a nice feeling.
You mentioned that you tried Porto as a location, but the rents were crazy. You end up choosing Vila do Conde. Still, probably because you are connected to the place, I don't know. But still in Vila do Conde, how do you choose the location for a board game cafe?
I don't know to answer that question. Maybe
No, at the time it was difficult to find a location.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't have many options, to be honest. But being in the center, it's good. We were lucky to be on the historical center, so there's a lot of people
passing.
That there's a lot of stuff happening around, so people end up passing by. But it's not a main street, so it's not a place. I'm sure there's plenty of people in Conde that have not found us yet. So, but it was the place we could get, and we couldn't have a high rent because it was a risky business. We didn't know if it was working out or not, and to be honest, it was, I think, well played from us because the first year it was difficult for people to get in. They wanted to take a look at the door, but they were afraid of coming in a board game cafe. What the hell is this?
But the first thing that we didn't want was like a store underneath buildings, a normal store. So we were trying to look for something different, like similar to home. So we went to walking around Vila do Conde, and then we found that window underneath the house that has like a small paper saying alugo, rent, and the number. So it was a brown door and a window. So we let's call, and we called the lady, and she was sleeping at midday. And then she was leaving up, and then she came down, and she opened the door, and we said, "Oh my God, no, this is horrible. we have to change a lot of things here. It smells.
Was it a
No,
cafe
no, no,
already?
no, no.
Was it a cafe?
Yeah, one of those very old.
Restaurant.
We call it
Tasca.
Tasco, yeah.
Then we went away, but then we found our friend that she's an architect, and he said, Gida, you have to come here and see. We took her there, and then she was trying to see inside, and I show her the pictures, and she said, "Oh, everything we can do, everything, Dina. Don't worry, let's do this." And well, it was the one that we choose.
Yeah, we can see the pictures from your social media, and it looks really comfy and beautiful. By the way, another thing, something that doesn't look that beautiful, Dina, is your score, because you are bomb baiting here on the score. So we are seeing that competitiveness indeed in the score. You have 28 points.
Yeah, I don't know how this is possible to play and talk at the same time. I can't do this.
You know, people say that women, they are very good in multitasking and men are not, right? So probably you were seeing that in the game now.
Do one thing at the time, and that thing is being done slowly.
Okay, let's see if we can find a way to lower Dina's score.
Start looking at your.
Oh, don't do that, please.
Oh wow!
Don't do that, please. Stop. Look at yours.
Are we recording
Otherwise,
a couple arguments right now?
João is trying to close the game soon. Look, two more rounds, and he closes the game.
If we finish and we just propose a rematch and we continue our conversation. Okay. What is the story behind the name of your cafe? So for everyone listening, the cafe is called, if I'm correct, A Jogar é que a gente se entende. I guess this is the full name, right? Which is in English, playing is the way we understand each other, something like that. Is there where did you find inspiration for this name?
I didn't want an English name.
Okay. Makes sense.
We start as a blog. We didn't have the idea to have a board game cafe when we choose the game. We just wanted a blog or I think that time was a blog, Manuel. You started the blog, right?
Okay. It was the name of the blog. This was the name of the blog as well.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was just like one day, Manuel, I don't remember who it was. Manuel said the other day that it was me. I don't remember. And we just said, what about a Jogar é que a gente se entende? Oh, that's a nice game. That's how it works. So it's playing that we get together. So that's a nice game, a nice name. So it's the name.
And also at that time on our life, because of the stress at work, on Mondays we had I had big meetings with investors, and I came home very, very stressed. So when I get home, Dina would have set up a game. We would play, and only after the game, I was able to say, "Hi, Dina, how was your day?" Otherwise, I would explode, So it was playing that we get along, actually. So
cool. That's the name.
Now we used to use a Jogar. It's a small name. I think it's working well, a Jogar, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Wow. Interesting. And then 6 years after, I look at your social media. I see a post, at least that was 3 months ago, that says 2,830 games. Maybe it's already at the 3,000s. Maybe today. Do you know?
No, isn't it? No.
Not
I
yet.
think no. Very difficult to do inventories. There's so many games. It takes a lot of time.
Okay. But you still rotate games, or you just add games?
Oh, we add.
You add, right?
Yeah,
You
right
don't
now
get rid of.
we still keep on adding. But this needs to stop.
Mm-hmm.
This needs to stop,
Sure.
and we need to start selling our used games. I think we'll make a lot of people happy because we have very old games that a lot of people might want to get that game, and we probably need to get rid of it. So
Okay.
pay attention to our future sales.
Okay. By the way, the link for the pages and the social media of Jogar que a gente entende are in the description of the video. So everyone interested could take a look and see. So many games. Do you have a system to organize these games? Especially if someone gets into your cafe and says, "Hey, do you have this game?" How do you struggle to? Hey, I think I have. I don't know if I have. How do you organize yourself to find a game and put the game on the table?
I think this year our cafe is not big. So we have the gruta, the cave of the games, where the most of the games were.
A storage?
And the rest was in Manuel's mom's house.
Okay.
So it was half. And for these years, we wanted to have all the games at the coffee shop.
Makes
because
sense.
we had some clients, they go to our list and say, "Oh, I will play this, Manuel. Can you bring from home?" So this year was a very nice year. So we get the other private room that we have at the coffee shop.
Mhm.
And we have all games there.
Everything
so
is in this shop.
it's easier to find the game.
Okay. Still, how do you find the game? Because it could be either in the cave or in the private room. And if it's in the private room, you need to search for it.
Right now, I would love to tell you, it's organized alphabetically and by genre.
But we are doing it.
It's a lie. So we're working on it.
Okay.
Right now, it's a bloody mess, but
it's not a bloody mess.
No, it's not. Well, I know where I put the games basically. Yeah. but we're working on it.
So when you go there to the cafe, we ask the people to, when they take a game from the shelf, they will not put it again when they finish the game. They will put on the specific space for the games the people play. And then at the end of the game, Manuel puts them in the place, back in their place. So there is not games on the shelf randomly. So Manuel normally knows where the games are.
That's how Manuel keeps that mental references of, that game is somewhere around there geographically. So it just needs to go in that place and you'll find it. Makes sense. Okay. Oh, let me see. It's my turn now. Maybe I'll go to red.
Well, you don't have much choice.
No, but
so it's going to be.
Yeah, I'll just take this one here. Okay, this is going to be like Germany and football, right? We can struggle, Manuel, but in the end, Dina wins. Germany wins.
Yes,
it's 3 against each other, and in the end, Dina wins. Apparently,
the game is not finished yet, so that's not true.
How do you curate your board game collection? Is there a selection process that you take games into to consider is it worthy or not to have in our board game cafe, or just everything that appears at your door goes into the cafe?
No, we usually play the game before it gets added to the shelf. Well, it used to be like that, but now there's a lot of games coming up, and some of them people ask us to buy to have them there. Others we know that they're popular because they're in every reviewer's channel.
Right.
So right now we don't play every game.
And we buy the ones that the designers that we enjoy.
Yes, those ones as well.
What would be the kind of game that you won't consider adding to your cafe?
We would not consider.
Yes.
Like, for example, throw burrito.
Break the porcelain.
We only have at the store.
Or the what's the name? I don't know if I can't recall
could land on someone's cafe. The burrito.
Yeah, you play that at your home. Don't play it mine.
Here, no.
there's another game called Spaceship Unit something. I forgot the rest of it. It was
Mhm.
Pegasus that I think it was either last year or 2 years ago. That it's a game that you need to go and grab stuff from your house, from your kitchen, and use it on the game.
No, we don't
So
want that.
that's not
No.
on the shelf as well.
No. Okay.
So those kind of games. Otherwise, most of the games they're fine for a coffee shop.
We don't reject any
Mhm.
because we have an open door and we have lots of people that have different tastes. So there's people there, they play Cluedo or Monopoly,
Uh-huh.
and that's fine.
Okay.
So
That's what they enjoy.
Yeah.
We should not stop them playing the game they want.
Sure. Yeah.
It's not a good game, but that's fine.
But if they want to play, why not, right? They will consume something as well. So the pattern that I see on the description that Manuel did about the games that could not be played is games that will require people to move around and not be quiet, sitting and playing the game safely.
Or hurt other people.
For example, there's one game that should not be played at the coffee shop, but sometimes it happens, which is Happy Salmon.
Yes.
It's a fun one.
That works.
That's when the coffee shop is empty. We sometimes we even suggest that if they want to have fun for 5 minutes, so that gets played. But it's the unusual one.
Well, we put there in the birthday parties, kids' birthday parties. We put a lot.
Happy Salmon.
Happy Salmon. Yeah. And there's another one. Time's Up. Is it Time's Up? The one with the
Jungle Speed.
Jungle Speed.
Yeah, that's
Jungle Speed is really dangerous.
especially if you don't cut your nails, right? Other people will suffer.
And the totem flies.
Yeah, it happens with me. It happened with me. Do you remember?
It can hurt people on the neighboring tables.
Can break the windows of the cafe.
I was trying to grab and
there goes the window. Yes.
And the head. I don't want to hurt anybody.
Okay. What are the some of the most popular games that customer play in your cafe?
I think it's the ones you would think. So Catan gets played a lot.
Ticket to Ride,
Codenames, the Ghost Blitz, like
Splendor.
It's I think it's the games you would expect.
Okay.
Azul gets played a lot. Wingspan, Terraforming Mars as well.
Wow, it's another level already.
Takugato.
And how does that happen, Manuel? Gato Curvado. Okay. And how does that happen? Are you the ones that are like suggesting or forcing people into those games because they arrive and they say, oh, this is nice, but I've never played the board game, and you say, you never played the board game, so you need to play Catan then. Try Catan. And you force those games? Or is it because people have those references and they see a board game cafe, they go there and I want to play a game. Oh, Catan, I've heard about this. I want to try that one.
Yeah.
Which one?
The last option.
Okay.
It changed because at the beginning, on our first years, we would suggest more. We still do suggest, but right now a lot of people are aware of games and they've played Catan with a friend, or a friend told them that Wingspan is the game, and so they come to the coffee shop with a little bit of knowledge and some ideas, or because they Google and say, what are the top 10 games to play? Stuff like that. But we still suggest a lot. But we tend to, when we suggest, we either, it's newer games that are from Portuguese publishers, or games that we think are good for the group in question, or like party games. That's what we put on the tables the most, I think.
Depending on the group of people. And what type of customers visit your cafe the most? Is it we're talking about casual players, hardcore gamers, families, all them?
A mix of everything. It's fortunately the public is very wide and in all ages.
Okay.
But you can group it in days. So, for example, on Sundays you'll see more families. It's Friday night and Saturday night you see younger people. So you can on Thursdays you probably see the hardcore gamers because they come play the game of the week.
Game of the week.
But I think most, if you want to focus on one group, I think we have a lot of casual groups of friends that go there to have a dinner and have fun after.
Being in the market for 6 years, have you noticed any interesting trends in board gaming over the years?
Well, in people, we see that the market is growing. So we see that the hobby is growing. It gets to more, especially after COVID. COVID was
The trigger.
a pivotal point for the hobby because a lot of people had nothing to do at home. So they found out that we can play games.
Yeah.
So after COVID, people realized that board games existed, and there's more people playing because of that.
Do you have more people now in your cafe than before? You see more people getting into the door?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
In the first year, we were having a game saying, "Oh, is this day that will be the worst day? The way that we do like less money. We will have clients today." In the first year, we're like nervous, anxious about we will have clients. But now
nowadays, it's very difficult to happen. We don't have empty days. People come more. They're more aware. But we lost a lot of clients for COVID. We not lost in terms that they died, no. Lost that they started playing more at home and less at the coffee shop and eventually disappeared.
Now they have their own group.
But I think that's like any of the business, like customers come and go.
Do you think that increase that you both say that you see in customers, is it because something is happening on the board game in general, or because locally you've educated the market in Vila do Conde, so local people, they know that now your cafe exists, so they just put it on their agenda to go there? Probably both things. I don't know.
Both.
What do you think?
Both, yes. But I think the north of Portugal is very strong on board games. We have two big groups, the guys from Porto and the guys from Viana, with two conventions, and us.
In the middle.
In the middle, yes. So there's people around these three, so Porto, Conde, Viana, which is like all in 1 hour or less than an hour by car, know about board games. And well, we've been here for 6 years now, so
Vienna board gamers are really active too.
Yes. Yes, they do a lot. And there's also and in Porto there's the Quebradados, which is another association that hosts people playing games. They're very nice guys too. So it's like a cluster of board gaming enthusiasts that push the hobby forward here.
Cool. Okay.
And that's our mission.
Cool. Okay. I guess, and when there's a conference, a con happening, you close the door because everyone is at those conferences. Maybe you both go. No, it's not the case. We still have people.
No, we don't. We can't close doors. This is still a very small business.
Okay.
And a lot of people the people that go to conventions are the hardcore gamers and like the curious people that will discover for the first time games. but our clients keep coming on those days, so we don't see a difference between a Conde or
A normal day.
a day that
Normal.
Okay. You mentioned again, this is a very small business. We understand that. We see the pictures, etc. We all try to imagine how sustainable a business like that would be. So how do you both ensure that the board games cafe business is sustainable? How do you do that? What's the trick?
we work a lot.
Long hours?
And we
Okay.
try to
That's normal in
we try to
cafes?
be very creative.
Yeah. So we need to. We as Dina was saying, we're creative with our events. We try to have a lot of events. Almost every day we have an event. If you go to our site and check our
Mhm. Mhm.
activity for the month, our events,
Yeah.
you see that it's very busy.
Yeah.
And it needs to be like that because we are in Vila, which is a small city, and because we need to constantly be trying to pull people in. Otherwise we would not succeed.
Okay.
Also, we have a kitchen, so food is very important.
Mhm.
Without I think it's a good combination. So sometimes the food saves us, sometimes board games saves us. So it depends on the month. It's good to have both.
When you say board game saves us, you're talking about selling board games or like some kind of entry fee that people need to pay?
Yeah, financially, I mean, what would make more money that month? Sometimes it's games, sometimes it's the food.
But Manuel is talking about the store.
The store selling games. Okay, so the margin you have from selling games. Do people need to pay to play at your store, at your cafe? Some fee?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. Which is a typical business model, right? For a board game cafe, you pay and you have access to the whole library.
In most of the board game cafes in Europe or the other continents, they charge around $5, €5 per for you to play.
Mhm.
We decided to go very low because if we asked for €5 6 years ago, nobody would get in.
Right.
So we put a fee of €2 for you to play. We are about to change that because I think we're established now and we can
and we never change.
and we never change.
Time
We're still
to
€2
Time to upgrade prices.
today. Yeah. We need to change that because games do get ruined, and I don't know how many super rhinos have we bought in these 6 years, but quite a lot.
Okay.
And that money needs to come from the gaming fees from people paying to play.
And for us to buy more games.
Yes.
So just to be clear for everyone listening and interested in this topic, so people pay €2 as an entry fee. They can play any game in your cafe, any game, right?
For 2 hours.
For 2 hours, okay. So and after 2 hours, if they stay in the
€1 per hour.
€1 per hour. So that's why you are always pushing Twilight Imperium to everyone to see if they stay for 8 hours, right?
Actually, we don't have Twilight Imperium in the collection.
Maybe everyone should play Twilight Imperium. and only leave once they finish the game. Are those €2 an extra euro convertible into? Sorry, the game is pushing me because I was timing out. Is that money convertible into buying food, or anything that you consume on the cafe will be extra? Extra. Okay, so that's the proper business model that has made you successful for these last 6 years. Okay, thank you for sharing. You mentioned the games get damaged, etc. Yeah, so one of the things that I think immediately when I think about board games cafes, and if I was the owner of a board game cafe, is that my games will be completely destroyed, right? It's either people using the games and destroying it by use, or it's because that beer will land on the cards or on the board. So how do you handle missing pieces, things getting damaged? You just let it go, and then one day you buy another Rhino Hero, or what's the strategy?
At the beginning was really, really hard for Manuel was really hard. He was like shaking, seeing people with the coffee close to the games. We have trays where we normally serve the food. So the food is more or less contained on the tray.
Okay.
Don't go to the table.
But not the
But yeah,
liquids.
sometimes it's
Maybe.
the drinks, and the drinks.
The drinks are the problem. The drinks are the problem.
But now Manuel is better. Well done.
Yeah, I'm a different person now. I don't mind putting a burger on top of a board game board.
Why is that? Why you don't mind anymore? What's the mindset shift that you did? This could be useful for other people.
Because I was at the beginning, like I was every game on the table with a glass of wine or a big mug of coffee nearby. I was sweating.
You would be nervous. Yes, that's how I feel when that's happened.
Yeah, Dina helped me relax and say, look, this is our tool. So this is not your game anymore. This is a tool that we use for our business. So the games stop being mine and they are the companies. And that accepting that was the change. But I still jumped when I saw a bottle of red wine going on top of a food chain magnet.
Yes,
I still jumped.
Everyone that is listening is now feeling the pain, imagining the pain. But still, Manuel, yes. So it's much better. It's not your own games. It's the Board Game Café games. But still, this food chain magnet gets ruined, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And not only we had once we had what was the game? Grand Austria Hotel. It was out of print at the time.
Yes.
And I handed over a mug of coffee to the client, and she grabbed it and let it go right on top of everything. So the game was destroyed. So
there's no way to avoid that. That's what you're saying. You can.
But at home, I cannot eat on the table with our collection, with our game.
No one should.
The fight is still a fight at home. Even with the towel that we have a gaming towel. And now when I'm having my food, my appetizers, I love appetizers when I'm playing.
Yeah.
And he looks like,
I hope those are not Cheetos or chips, because then you would.
Oh, it is.
It's everything. This woman is crazy.
It can only be nuts, things that have not fat in your fingers, right?
Cashew. No salt.
Cashew, and nuts and all those things that don't stain your fingers. Okay, so basically, then the bottom line here is that there's no way for you to protect games from clients that randomly are passing by, playing for the first time, ordering beers and glasses of red wine, etc. Let them order, and if the accident happens, it happens. There's no way to avoid that, basically.
There's another thing that we go to libraries and and on that sessions, it's really difficult to be in every table. And normally is with families that sessions in the libraries, and that's really danger. They
bend the cards and they put them in their mouth.
The other day I was seeing a little girl with the speed cups bell running away on the library, and I said, "Oh my god!"
So, like game components disappear very often. So, for example, this week we opened. The client wanted to play El Dorado, the quest for El Dorado, and I gave them the game. They were 4. When they opened the box, there was no blue player in neither cards nor meeple.
Yeah.
So they vanished.
So probably if I have a game at my home that is missing a component, the best way for me to get the component would be to a board game cafe and just steal that from my collection, right? Yes.
Give any ideas,
You
please.
just please email the publisher. They will replace the piece quite often
Mhm.
and at a very good average speed. So don't do that.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So we are close to the
Okay.
end, but still, I would like to ask you a few things about the cafe. Who is the most famous celebrity or designer that visit your cafe? Because we are triggering the end game, so
It's Orlando André Santos, João Quintela. Ah, não, João Quintela ainda não veio. Nem o Vital Lacerda.
Vital já veio.
Vital já veio, veio.
okay. So
I
Vital Lacerda was one. Mhm.
No, Vital didn't come.
No,
Orlando Sá.
Orlando Sá.
No, and the what's his name?
The one that we took a picture.
Yes, forgot his name.
Mhm. I don't know his name.
It's the guy that designed Bruxelles
Mhm.
1897.
Mhm. I know you have some pictures on social media, but I don't know if there are all of them. So that's why I was asking you.
Anyway, Orlando is from Vila do Conde and is
Oh,
the
the neighbor.
designer.
He's a local.
But also Luis and Rola, Luis Costa and Rola came here often. Mostly Portuguese. We don't receive a lot of foreign
Not
designers.
yet. Not
in
yet.
Vila do Conde.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Mhm. So, by the way, Dina won the game. Okay, so Manuel, sorry, I tried.
Yes.
I tried to help
Probably
you.
the game has.
I tried to help you both today, but seems like there's going to be some kind of friction there with Dina with 77 points, Manel in second, and myself in last place. Yes. So I don't know what's happening in the previous videos. In these previous videos that I'm recording, I'm always losing. But I don't know. But that's fine. That's fine. We don't have time for a rematch.
You are doing the difficult part. It is to choose the pieces for you to lose. It's more difficult than winning.
Yeah, so I guess Dina was playing the other technique, which is blocking other players from getting those pieces, the pieces they want, maybe.
Really? You were blocking us?
No, never do that.
Just a suspicious.
No.
We need to rewatch
I
the
do that.
video. Let's rewatch the video then after and see if Dina was blocking other players. Let's see. In order to win, which is a valid strategy, right? No, it's not a problem. It's a valid strategy. So before we go, final questions. What's next for your cafe? What's next?
We would like to open another. We tried once before COVID, but with COVID we had to close. We opened in Matosinhos, and we closed. Now we've been recovering from COVID until now, and hopefully in either this year or next year we would like to reopen somewhere close to Porto.
Second location.
Yes, a second location.
Mm-hmm. How would that work? Would you split between you both split between those two locations? One is on one side.
We've been trying lately to hire people to start for us to be less time at the coffee shop. That way we can be on more than one place wherever it's needed. But it's difficult.
I imagine so. Yes.
Get people
it's difficult to hire people for a job like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cafes is always difficult per se. So
okay. Restaurants. Nobody wants to work in restaurants, and teaching games is not. It's not the easiest of jobs for someone that does not enjoy doing that
as well. Yeah.
So, and putting the two together is even more difficult.
No one is ever committed to a job than the owners of the job, right? So no one will take it with the same passion as both of you take. You'll never find anyone that will pick that and have the same level of commitment and performance as you. But good luck on that. So if someone is listening and he clicked on this video because he or she is planning to open a board game cafe, what advice would you give to someone that is planning to open a board game cafe in Vila do Conde? If someone is planning to open a board game cafe in Vila do Conde, no, just in general, anywhere in the world. What advice? Besides not opening?
My advice would be aware that you will stop playing games, and you don't need more than 300 games. If you choose wisely which ones you have, you don't need more than 300 to open a board game cafe. It's enough. You don't need 2,000. Don't need.
Powerful advice. Just 300. Okay, that's powerful.
Yeah, it's enough. And have a lot of very short games that you can explain under a minute, because those are the ones that you're gonna be using most of the time to put it on the tables.
The short ones to teach. Powerful advice. Anything from your side, Dina? Lessons learned after these 6 years?
Hard work.
Hard work. Prepare yourself for hard work. And if you are planning to open a board game cafe to have space to play more games, it won't work.
If you are rich, that's fine. No worries. You just open a board game cafe and you will play and put employees. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're not, if you are working there, it's hard.
Okay.
And it's difficult to make it profitable. It's don't people sometimes think, oh, the coffee shop is always full, so you guys make quite a lot. No, you are deceived, because in a normal restaurant, people go eat in half an hour and leave. In a normal cafe, people go eat, drink a coffee or a beer or something, 10 minutes and leave. So tables are rotating. Here, people have a coffee and play for 3 hours
or more.
Yeah. So for those 3 hours, the money you made was a gaming fee and a coffee. So less than €3. So
yes. Okay.
It's different.
Thank you for your advices. It's difficult, but it's doable. You have the references in Europe that you visit yourselves, others in Portugal as well. So thank you for that. Before we go, it's normal in this show that in the end I ask the guests to recommend someone that could be an interesting guest for a next future episode. Someone you think has an interesting profile or works in an interesting thing to be part of the show. Who would you recommend?
I would suggest Luís Baixinho.
He works at Caixa dos Brinquedos in Paredes de Cora. So he runs like that thing, and he has all the schools of the district visiting him. He creates activities with Legos and with board games and Kapla and loads of other things. He also writes for the fanzine of board games that Viana's Castelo group they do it. So I think you have a lot of. I think you'll have an interesting conversation with him too.
Thanks, Dina, for the recommendation. Manuel, would you like to recommend someone as well, or?
Well, did you interview any Portuguese designer already or not? Okay, so any of them, to be honest, either Orlando, André Santos, Vital, or Luis or Rola.
Okay,
any of them would be good.
So does all those four, can I reach them and say, hey, Manuel recommended you as the next guest?
I think so.
Yeah? Okay. Challenge accepted. Thank you both for your recommendations and for your time. I know we're far away, geographically, but definitely one day if I have a chance to pass by Vila do Conde, definitely I would stop and get the chance to meet you both in person.
Thanks very much for that.
And thank you for doing this.
Thank you for also participating. All the best for
No
both of you and for the
pleasure.
cafe. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye
See
bye.
you soon.